All right. Hope everyone's having a good Tuesday evening. Day 2. Yep, I managed to stick to a schedule 2 nights in a row. That's almost a personal best. It's sad, but you know. Hey, there was a time several years ago where I used to stream more frequently, hopefully getting all the health stuff in order, getting the anxiety and stuff under control. We can return to such a time. Alex Fire King, welcome back. Thank you so much for the 61 months. Very, very much appreciated. Thank you so much, Alex. Hey, Dagoth. Good sleep last night? Not the worst. Not the best. Definitely better than some of the nights that I was having. I had a lot of really rough nights adjusting to medication and stuff over the last month. Yo, Alex, gifting out 5 subs to the community. Thank you so much, dude. Ross Favor, Trilogy 94, Weed Eater 69, Nutty a Hermit, Magic Hoof. Enjoy those subs courtesy of Alex, the Fire King. That's why Alex is king. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. What's going on, Pablo? What's up, Christophonics? Hey, Nora. Jad Ashtelin. Hello, hello, hello. You're gonna join us for a Phasmophobia stream one of these days, right? Now that you're a hardcore gamer. Mutation, how's it going? Couldn't sleep and turned to Twitch. Kinda glad I did. Oh, we'll definitely put you to sleep with this stream. I'm gonna spend the next 3 to 4 hours zooming the camera in on random bits of garbage around Silent Hill while barely making any progress. Perfect sleep aid. Pastry Fun 2, how's it going? Legate, good to see you. Cam hack time, let's see if there's any light bulbs in cans. I would love that. That would be such a great discovery, because the canned light bulbs are not in the remake as like a puzzle thing anymore. But if there's just like a random can somewhere in the environment and we clip into it and there's light bulbs, that'll be insane. That would be amazing to discover. Hey, Rushmore. Hey, Loving Missives. Yeah, the rare back-to-back stream. Like I said, now that I'm at a point where I'm kind of doing better, I'll really do my best to try and stick to a more regular stream schedule for everyone's sake. You guys are happy, I can pay medical bills. Everyone wins. Will boy. Thank you so much for the 3 months in advance. Thank you. Very much appreciate it. Hope you're all doing well tonight. Glad to hear things are starting to look up. Yeah, I'm just very thankful to you guys for being able to help me out. A lot of people who donated and supported so that I could even go see a doctor and kind of get the ball rolling on fixing my health in the first place. So it's been a difficult like couple of months especially, but yeah, things are definitely looking a lot better now. Just a lot of needing to fix shit in my life between just being more conscious of my health and seeing doctors. I never used to go to the doctors in hospital or anything, no matter how I've felt or what was going on, outside of like real serious emergencies, like when I sliced my thumb open. Some of you have been following the channel for long enough. That was back in 2018, very tail end of 2018, because I can remember my thumb was actually still healing when I went to AGDQ in January of 2019, because I was like, oh great, I get into GDQ and playing a game where I really need to feel what my right thumb is doing, and I severed the nerves in it and can't feel anything. That was fun. Still did okay. And my thumb still has no feeling. It's healed, obviously, completely, but not the nerves. It's blurry, but I think I remember that. Wasn't that run in ass hours early morning? Yeah, it was. Because, I mean, it was Generations Lost for the Sega Genesis. It's not exactly a big name game, so they just kind of stuck it in as a filler. It was like the last thing before the start of the bad game block or something. It was like right around that time. But yeah, we stayed up and we were just like super tired. Still no feeling? Yeah. Still no feeling on my right thumb. I've managed to get used to it, at the very least. The hardest part is knowing that like something is damaging my thumb. Like if I'm cooking in the kitchen and I cut my thumb, or if I touch something hot pan, or something out of the stove that's like still really hot, or out of the oven that's still really hot, I'll occasionally like cut or burn my thumb and don't even realize it until I'm like, oh shit. I have to like look at it because I don't feel it. Mills Big Red, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Thank you, very much appreciate that. Ram Ranch Survivor 69, always good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Eriku Dono. Howdy, howdy. Welcome back. Thank you so much for the 3 months. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone is ready for another exciting evening of Silent Hill 2 Remake. Let's actually go ahead and boot that up real quick before we actually get started. Want to make sure the mod is working properly today, because I was not able to do some of the functions, some of the things I wanted to do yesterday. Mainly teleport James. I should be able to teleport James's model out of bounds, like wherever the camera is. So, see if I got that fixed. Donor Gohan, thank you so much for the 3 months. Thank you, thank you. Hey, Drew. Needed help with physical or mental health? I technically both. um, Back in March, I had my wife take me to the emergency room. I had been having panic attacks, and they were getting more frequent and more severe to the point where they were just destroying me from day after day after day. Like, where my whole body would tense and tremble. I would hyperventilate. I was having pain in my chest. I was having numbness in my limbs on my left side. Um, and it was really, really bad one night where I thought I was having a heart attack or a stroke. I had my wife take me to the emergency room. They did some tests on my heart, did an EKG, um, made sure that it wasn't a heart attack or a stroke, started treating me for anxiety. In the process of seeing a doctor about the anxiety, they did blood work, and we found some other things going on. Um, I had super, super high blood pressure. So I was like constantly in hypertension. Um, and then some other things going on. My vitamin D was like non existent, it was extremely low, very, very deficient. So, stuff like that. I've just been in the process of trying to take care of. And now, with medication and just better lifestyle changes, I've been doing a lot better in terms of the anxiety and things like that. The mental aspect has been much better. I'm not having the panic attacks so frequently, and when I do have a panic attack coming on, medication kind of helps stop the symptoms of it so that I don't get those tremors. I don't hyperventilate as much. I manage to keep my heart rate and my blood pressure down from spiking. So that the physical aspects don't just completely wipe me out, because that's the thing, is they were so bad and so intense that physically it would just drain me. My mind was just, I could barely talk. I would just be a lump in bed. It hurt to move, hurt to think. So I've gotten past that hurdle. I've at least got that aspect in check, which is the main thing that was preventing me from like living a normal day-to-day life. Now I've been dealing with these other health issues that have come up in the process of dealing with the anxiety. So I'm still having numbness and pain periodically, just seemingly randomly on the left side of my body. The left side of my face will go numb. My left arm will go numb or ache. My left leg will hurt. The left side of my back, the left side of my chest. Things will just get numb or hurt and not have any reason to. So, did some diagnosing with my doctor, did some tests, did an ultrasound to check for things like blood clots, stuff like that. So, we narrowed down, it's not heart attacks, it's not strokes, it's not blood clots. Doctor is leaning towards nerve damage or, symptoms of some type of neuropathy. So it's one of those things that we need to do x-rays, still have that coming up. We need to do a nerve conductivity test. Basically, they put a little bunch of little electric diodes all over my body and send little electric shocks to see if there's responses from all the nerves all the way from, my brain down to my limbs. And if there's something that's causing that issue, if we can narrow it down, if it's a physical thing like a herniated disc or something in my spine or my neck, pinching a nerve or causing some sort of disruption, then we can start working towards fixing that. Or if it's, something else. Again, I'm still not out of the woods in terms of my health. There's still some concerning stuff that we're in the process of diagnosing and treating. But the day-to-day stuff, the crippling anxiety and frequent panic attacks, the stuff that was keeping me from working. That is the main thing that we've managed to get past now. So that's why I'm back to Twitch. Streaming your full-time job, or do you have a 9-to-5? Streaming is my full-time job. This and YouTube are my only source of income. Which is why when shit goes wrong, like, I had to start a GoFundMe. Cause yeah, I between me and my wife, like, we barely make ends meet. She has a full 9-to-5. She does the main heavy lifting of supporting us. But we rely on my income just as much to pay bills and everything. Thank you, Mutation. Yeah, it's kind of a lot. It's a bit overwhelming right now, and I've never really been the type throughout my life to go to the doctor for anything if I didn't absolutely have to, most of the time because I have no money or insurance. I've lived most of my life pretty poor. But yeah. I'm at the age now, 37. I'm getting closer to 40. Got more health things cropping up that I can't just ignore or self-diagnose. Our healthcare system isn't very helpful either, unfortunately. Yeah, it's really not. It's really, really not. I'm at least in a better place dealing with it now. I've got insurance for the first time in like 15 years. So that's been helping a little bit with some of the medical costs. It's not nearly as much as you would think. A lot of people think, or especially if you don't live in the US and you don't really know how it is, you might think like, oh, you've got insurance so you can just get stuff taken care of. The ER trip that I took back in March was $1,800 with insurance. If I had gone without insurance, it would have been like $3,000. So it helps, but there is still a lot of the cost put onto like me as the patient. So yeah, it takes a nice little chunk out of the medical bills, but it doesn't just like magically cover them. So it sucks, but it is what it is. Like I said, I'm at least in a point now where we're getting better and we're dealing with stuff. It's hard. It's hard when you live check to check and kind of scrape by, and then suddenly have thousands of dollars of medical bills to deal with. And yeah, Rachel is the real MVP who, through all of this, she's still been working. She's been taking time away from work when she can, when she has to help take care of me and make sure that I'm recovering, especially when medication was making me feel like I was gonna lose consciousness for like days on end. She saw that I was like that first week, like week or two after getting put on some medication and seeing my doctor were really rough. I was like not able to sleep at all. As soon as I would nod off, my body would start going into panic mode, which was not something that happened before the medication, even when I was having bad panic attacks. Anyway, I don't want to sit here and ramble on about all the health stuff. Point is, last 2 months have been very difficult. Mental health, physical health. I'm still in the process of dealing with it. Things are much better now, but we're still dealing with it. But I'm at least well enough to be back and doing this again. And when I say I appreciate you, like, for all the subs, resubs, everybody doing what you can to support me, you're literally helping me stay alive. Like, This isn't fucking my side gig to earn beer money. This is what I do to continue existing. So, thank you. Thank you so much. Shadow Noises. Thank you so much for the 6 months in advance and the 14 months total. Thank you, Shadow Noises. Very, very much appreciate it. Only advice is you should get out of the house as much as possible. Helps physical and mental health. That is one of the big changes to my lifestyle that I have made, Drew. My doctor recommended that to me a little over a month ago. And I've been doing just that. And you're right, it does help. Especially since I had a big vitamin D deficiency. Getting out into the sun helps with that as well. So that has been aiding in a lot of my recovery. But yeah. Will Boy says, thanks for the hundreds of hours in-depth story playthroughs watched for many years. Not sure if it's the same for others, but horror media helps my anxiety. It's like an escape. It is. No, it's not just you. It's not just you. It's definitely something that, as strange as it might sound, horror, especially Silent Hill, is a source of comfort for me. It's something that I've enjoyed a lot since I was a kid, all the way into my adult years, and has given me a lot of meaning. And over the years of streaming that I've been doing, it's kind of given me a lot of purpose as well that I didn't really have before. But it is a source of comfort for me, and I know the videos and everything that I make are a source of comfort for others, so I'm just glad that I can kind of pay that forward as well. But thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying stuff. I'm glad you're here. Let's check this out real quick and see if I got this thing working like it should. So, free cam. Should be able to, like, go outside, like right here. Oh, look at that. There we go. We skipped the lying figure. But yeah, so that's working. Good, good, good. That was the function I was trying to use yesterday that wasn't working. Meep, thank you so much for the 98 months. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Thank you, Meep. And Catmech, thank you very much for the 60 months. Definitely feeling better. Still got some stuff to deal with, but we're feeling better. Thank you so much, Catmech. Is there fall damage in Silent Hill 2 Remake? I can't remember. No. How did you do that? Is it a glitch? It's a mod. I have a mod for free cam. So this... Welcome, everybody. This is Silent Hill 2 Remake, part 2 of the cam hack playthrough. So the whole point of this playthrough that we're going to be doing, we're very slowly, very meticulously making our way through the game. And I've got this free cam mod set up so that we can take a very, very close look at all the details and everything that are in the environment. We're going to be taking our time looking at everything, analyzing things in the environment, looking at some specific Easter eggs and things that are out of bounds, and even teleporting James out of bounds to kind of test certain things, like, hey, the top of the roof while you're inside the building is not rendered, because why would they waste resources on rendering that if you're not going to be outside where you can see it, if you're inside here? But sometimes they hide little things out of bounds. We've already taken a look at a lot of interesting things like that. in the last part last night. We're going to be doing more of the same. Continuing on. Shadow Noises, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs going out to the community. Jonathan Joestar, Super Shish Kebab, Xanderkins, Bone Disturbed, and Little Queenie enjoy those subs courtesy of Shadow Noises. Thank you very, very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, we can see in the drawers. Nothing in them. Hey, Skulls Knight. Hope you're doing well. Oh yeah, we had the tape recorder. It looks, I think this is going to be identical to the one that we find in Brookhaven, where we get some messages from the hospital director. And a belt with gigantic holes punched in it. Not the same as James's belt, is it? No, his is different. His looks more normal. Blueber putting the Comic Sans Ranch sign is an amazing Easter egg. It really is. Stuff like that is what makes me really excited to do this playthrough. Because I have seen some things that are out of bounds and some of the Easter eggs and things that are around in this game, but I haven't gotten to go through and take a look at all of it myself. And just like with the Silent Hill 3 camera hacked playthrough, sometimes we even discover things that nobody else has seemingly found. There's like a reference of a Japanese actress in Silent Hill 3 that I've never heard any other fan talk about or found any other information about online. So sometimes we discover stuff by doing this as well that people don't know about yet. Yeah, we're not at that point, Mutation. We just got inside the first building here. Where we're about to come up on the first lying figure. Turn up the game audio just a bit too. That was a little too quiet last time. Be too much. But yeah. We haven't gotten to that point yet. Clock, just like the majority of them, 10 past 9 and 15 seconds. Little reference to the clock puzzle in Silent Hill 2 OG. No way, Crusher Dan on VHS. That's a Silent Hill 1 reference. I'm already seeing things. We're already finding things that I don't know if other people mentioned or talked about. So in Silent Hill 1, in the theater, there is billboards up on top. They're very hard to see in Silent Hill 1. But there's billboards for movies that are showing at the theater. And they use Die Hard 2. They use the cover for Die Hard 2. And they use the cover for Raiders of the Lost Ark. The one that shows the Raiders of the Lost Ark poster is titled Shoot. And the one that shows the Die Hard 2 poster is titled Crusher Dan. So here is Crusher Dan. What an interesting and obscure reference. for Bloober Team to include on this VHS label. You got multiple copies of Crusher Dan. Oh, that's great. I love that right off the bat we're finding stuff. Trying to see if there's anything in like the fine print. Copyright proprietor has licensed the picture contained in the video cassette for private home use only. Yeah, pretty typical. Don't copy it, reproduce it, resell it. No other little references or anything in there. Awesome. Oh yeah, the copyright date was 1999, wasn't it? Yeah, 1999. Such a good movie, you need several copies. I mean, that kind of was true for VHS back in the day. You'd have that movie that you watch so much that it just you wear the physical tape out, and then you got to get another copy, so you have like your good copy and then your copy where the tracking messes up. This one looks like it says, oh, it's Shoot. There's Shoot. I was talking about Shoot and Crusher Dan. There's Shoot. I'm trying to see if I can like clip the this little like bit of trash that's sitting on top of it. But yeah, that's the one in Silent Hill 1 that uses the Raiders of the Lost Ark poster. Shoot is rated PG, whereas Crusher Dan was 18. What year is Silent Hill 2 supposed to take place? That is a subject up for much debate. There is no definitive answer. There is no official answer. There are many fan theories ranging from 1976, I think is the earliest, up to 1999, which is like the most recent year we've seen like specified in the remake. But it's different based on stuff that's in the OG, stuff that's in the remake, stuff that developers have said, technology that exists within the world and when it was released. All of these things are contradicting each other. Models of vehicles that are around the town. So there is no definitive year that Silent Hill 2 takes place. There's no official answer to that. Sometime between 1976 and 1999. But that's great. We've got Crusher Dan and we've got Shoot. Wonderful little references to Silent Hill 1 there. Yeah, yesterday we saw a newspaper that was printed in 1999, and it also lists there's like a memorial that's in part of a paper for Joe DiMaggio that says 1914 to 1999. So 99 gets referenced in this, but that's just the remake. There's not stuff like that in the original game. Those are new assets created just for this. Kitchen. The Monsterizer. We found the Monsterizer. 99 could be a reference to when the original came out. I mean, 99 is when Silent Hill 1 came out. So they may possibly, might possibly be referencing that. This is like watching an extremely thorough boundary break. That's kind of the idea. The Monsterizer stand mixer. Love it. If I get a stand mixer, we used to have a good stand mixer. We gave it to a friend who does a lot more cooking and baking than we do. But if we ever get another stand mixer, I'm going to put a label on it. Call it the Monsterizer. Hey, Temporal Fry. We just started. We just started. We're already finding stuff. But, yeah. I've walked into one room. And we're still in the process of looking at the stuff here. Gas stove, Atomix brand. Oh, there's the Monsterizer bland blender. Brand blender. I can talk. I promise. My doctor said I'm not having a stroke. Cool range, pulse, matic. We do have a blender. I have been using the blender a lot. Trying to get my weight down and get more fruit, more potassium in my system that I've needed for my health. I've been doing some fruit smoothies. Need to get the Monsterizer sticker for my blender. Cookie! New and improved recipe, chocolate chip cookies. This was an asset from the original Silent Hill 2. The box of like instant cookies. Or the chocolate chip cookie mix. And they added new and improved recipe for the remake version of the asset. Is a cute little touch. But yeah, cookie and butter cake. We'll see some boxes of butter cake. There might be some around here. Iconic background assets from the OG Silent Hill 2. Oh, I like the handprints, like finger smudges in the dirt. Coffee maker 3.B or 3.8 maybe. Wouldn't have a brand. Aloe Pedolo? Is that a thing? Am I saying a swear in Spanish? Aloe Pedolo. Nothing comes up in Google. Wasn't anything in the fridge. Hiding in the oven. Cabinets. Is the world paused while you're free camming, or will you have to be careful in some areas? I have it set right now so that the world pauses, so that we can stop and look at enemies and things when we get to them. But I can actually toggle that off and on if I want the game world to be going while I look around at stuff. But I figure for what I'm doing, it's better to pause it so that I can really take my time and not have to worry about stuff. Finest Old Polish Whiskey. We saw a bottle of this yesterday's stream on the park bench, walking from the observation deck down to the forest trail right at the start of the game, which apparently was a real brand of whiskey back in the 70s and 80s. Random duffel bag hanging out down here under the table. Bottle of Murdy. It's not Merlot. It's Murdy. Little shell hanging out up here. For the whiskey. Magic conch. Man, that's awesome. The just finding stuff like the Monsterizer brand on the appliances, and man, the Crusher Dan and Shoot references. The fact that we're already finding some interesting stuff. Solid white tuna, some tuna cans up here. We've seen some very like gross rusted versions of these same cans. These are in good condition. Cobwebs, spider webs and stuff up here. Honestly, this is something that I feel like, considering the condition of most of these places, I think there'd be a lot more webs and bugs and stuff around. Labels on the first side of the bottles or anything. Okay. Crusher, Dan, and Shoot. That's great. Oh, we can take a look at this. We can see James's weird pose when he looks at items. Oh, his finger's not doing weird stuff this time. He's in a little more default A pose while we hold the nutrition drink as compared to holding the key yesterday. Yeah, yesterday we picked up the key in the auto parts store, and I did the same thing, and James's pinky was like stretched way out. The nutritional supplement. It's for adults only. Do not exceed recommended dose. Keep out of the reach of children. Good details on all these little props and assets. The stains and little nicks and cuts on like the plastic cap and the label where it's kind of scuffed and peeling off. Oh, and my perspective way zoomed in. There we go. Definitely try and look at a lot of the artwork and things on the walls as close as we can. Hard to tell what that one even is. But we have a signature. Burke. Or Balke. There is a Peter Balke, a Norwegian painter known for his dramatic and visionary style. This a Peter Balke work? Oh, he does have very dark, creepy looking art. Trying to see if anything matches it. I think it is. Yeah, there are some better cam hack things out there, Flapjacks. This one is kind of limited in what it can do. I can't use it during cutscenes, for example, and I can't adjust brightness or toggle anything like that, unfortunately. I think I may have found this painting. It might be Stormy Sea. 1870 Stormy Sea by Peter Balk. But it's like very heavily edited. Oh, did you find it, Tassadul? Northern Lights over Cliff? Northern Lights over Coastal Landscape. The Peter Balk Northern Lights painting. Sorry, I'm looking stuff up. Oh, that is it. I was able to find it just as Northern Lights. And again, it's very like edited. But yeah, so this is a sort of edited version of a Peter Balk painting. Northern Lights. Very cool. Try and identify a lot of these paintings and things as we come across them. This one of the folding bikes? Yeah, it is, right? These are apparently a common thing in Poland. Definitely not as common of a thing in the U.S. But somebody had mentioned the folding bikes yesterday. Oh, camera, where did we go? We went through the wall. Heading up under the stairs. Leave info here. Visiting hours. At some of the mailboxes, sometimes they put little references. Basement. Written on that one. Keep out written on that one. Office written there. A blue X on that one. Oh, a little arrow pointing here. And an envelope in the thing next to it. Like a letter or something in an envelope. I got a letter. Does the name on the envelope say Mary? Hard to see. Chuma. Sitting on this one. Hey, Fix the Ferns back. Haven't watched any of your Silent Hill 2 remake videos. What was your opinion of it? Did you think they did a good job? I really liked it. I really, really liked it. This game, I had extremely low expectations. I'm not a fan of Bloober Team's games for the most part. So I was very, very concerned when it was first announced that they were going to be the ones doing the remake. And in my opinion, they did an absolutely phenomenal job. It's not perfect. I've definitely got a few very minor gripes for things in this game, but nothing that, like, ruins the experience of it. I think they did an excellent job with it. Fire safety begins with you. If there's a fire in your apartment, good luck. When you hear the fire alarm, to go or to stay, the decision is yours. I mean, usually you should probably just go. Probably the safer of the two options. If you're just like, sometimes you're just cooking, trying to make some burgers, some oil or grease gets on the burner, then you just, whatever. Then the decision is yours. If you decide to leave the building, you're to do so screaming, waving your arms around. The safest method. Upload washer operating instructions. Add detergent, load laundry, close lid, set fabric. Set fabric selector. Set wash temperature. Choose cycle type. Make payment. Press start. Oh, there's the back of James's neck. We even got the signature from the safety inspector, the fire inspection. Been inspected by Smith. Air extinguisher, carbon dioxide. Do not use on gas fires. Do not use on flammable metal fires. Do not use on cooking oil and fat fires. Even if it's not something like super interesting or like a reference to anything, the fact that there's like this much detail in all of these little props that like 99.9% of people are just going to run right past and not pay any attention to, really, really shows how much effort went into making a lot of these environments. Keep door closed. I mean, got trash stacked up on both sides. I don't think it's going anywhere. Go upstairs. Nothing rendered upstairs. Cigarettes had something written on them. We looked at that yesterday. They say Sean. Say the word Sean. Filter cigarettes. Possibly a Sean Bean reference. He was in the Silent Hill movies. And I think there's a memorial service announcement that you find in Lakeview Hotel that says Sean Mitchell, which would be a combination of Sean Bean and Rhoda Mitchell's names, the two leading actors in the first Silent Hill movie. So possibly a reference. Kind of sad they didn't keep the Hemingways. Yeah, out of everything that they reference, Rachel, with that like Shoot and Crusher Dan very obscure Silent Hill 1 references, I'm really surprised the cigarettes are not Hemingways. That was a thing that started with Silent Hill Origins. There's a billboard at the very beginning of Silent Hill Origins for cigarettes that are Hemingway brand, and then in like every game after Origins, you could find Hemingways. You could find Hemingways or Hemingway Lights. They're in Homecoming. They're the brand that Curtis is smoking. They're in Shattered Memories. You find a pack of them in the glove compartment in one of the cars. In Downpour, it's the brand that DJ Bobby Ricks has in his shirt pocket. So it was a little running thing with the Hemingway cigarettes. I'm surprised they didn't keep with that. It's even the same colors, like the same colors and everything on that. Oh my god, I wish there was an easier way to set this. Interesting painting. Long bird skull. Eggs in a vase. Let's see, I think this is also a painting. Like a known painting. No visible artist name on this one. I'm not going to spend too long sitting here looking stuff up on my phone while everyone just stares at that. So, if you want to reverse image search it, feel free. Otherwise, that's pretty much what I'll be doing after the stream. Old-timey photo of somebody. The face blurred out. There was actually a big post, a like continued post on the Silent Hill subreddit a few months ago, I think, where somebody was going through and looking at all the pictures and trying to find what their original sources were. And a lot of these blurry photos are photos of actual people, like historical photos of various people that are being pulled, their public domain, that are being pulled from the Library of Congress. So this is most likely one of those like random pictures, public domain pictures. They use a lot of them, especially when we get to like Brookhaven. A lot of the like classic medical photos are public domain from the Library of Congress. Photos of old medical facilities and nurses and doctors in their old-timey garb, which are then like edited like that to be creepy, blur out the face and details. Did they include references to all the main games in the remake, or are some left out? There's little minor references to most of them. There's probably some that are left out. I don't remember if there's a direct like Book of Memories reference. There may have been. But yeah, a lot of them a lot of the main stuff does get referenced. There's definitely a 3 reference. There's kind of a 4 reference. We just saw some Silent Hill 1 references in the other room. Divide cans, Colombian specialty fruit, raspberries in heavy syrup. Will there be a light bulb? Show me light bulbs. Darn. There's nothing. If they stick a light bulb in a random can like this at some point in the game, I will be so happy. Nice photo of plywood. Hey, maybe that's a reference. There's a Silent Hill speedrunner. Longtime speedrunner and Silent Hill community person named Plywood. One of my favorite people, streamers. Here's the Plywood shout out. Looks just like him. Crumpler International. We saw those boxes earlier. And nothing rendered in these. Lakeview Farms. Roast Beef. Beef. Gonna go to Lakeview Farms and get some canned roast beef. Fully cooked, no water added, no preservatives. Is there a can, or is there a bulb in the can? No bulb. No bulb in the can of beef. How about the nutrition facts? Nutrition facts. Serving size is 1/4 of cake. It's beef cake. It's beef cake in a can. 340 calories per serving. Look at all that sodium. I can't have that sodium. Trying to watch my blood pressure. That's funny. Roast beef. We have... This is where we pick this up. The roast beef. What do we have over here? Some more old Polish whiskey. Not even light bulbs in the lamp. I wonder at what point they spawn the lying figure in. Because they don't have a model just like sitting over here. Envelope sitting on a book. Oh. Old photo. Woman holding a creepy baby. Like a map. Or an electrical schematic. Does James's foot actually bend when he's got it pressed against something like that? There are a lot of things in the environment when you're walking on them, like his feet and legs will bend to try to match the collision. It's not very perfect, and a lot of times, depending on like what you're trying to step on, sometimes it can look a little bit weird. But he does like somewhat react to changes in elevation and stuff like that in the environments when you're walking. Even in a lot of modern games, that's not a very common detail. This happy couple. Their creepy child. In fact, the faces are not blurred. Makes me wonder, maybe able to reverse image search that. Bit easier than some of the other environmental assets, pictures and things. Kind of remind me of the couple from PT. Yeah, a little bit. It's not exact. But it is similar. Volume. It's a gackless. Good old gackless TV. Can hear those dials being turned on the TV. Oh yeah, we used to have one. We used to have one not too different from that. That heavy clunk as you turn those dials. Oh, same photo over here. Oh. And they all died of tuberculosis. All the creepy old-timey photos. Again, a lot of these might be able to be reverse image searched because there's a good chance they're public domain. A little bit hard to adjust the camera sometimes for some of these things. Is it just a bunch of kids sitting on the ground? I was trying to see what this was a photo of. At first I thought it was like people on a roller coaster. Or like canoeing. But no, there's like a woman standing there holding a ball. Tristan. Hiding under here. Some Imperium paint. Light bulbs? Light bulbs? No light bulbs. Alright. Go ahead and get this cutscene triggered. It's a game. You race another team, pass the ball back over your head. Okay. Never did that one as a kid. Freeze this so we can take a look at the flying figure. We were looking at one last time. You can see the actual like straps and stuff for the shoes. See, this I kind of don't like. Like, this is definitely an Ito thing. Yeah, the Ito likes his wedge heels and he likes his like bondage gear in his monster designs. I feel like in the older designs, maybe this was just a result of the low resolution textures and stuff for the PS2 era, but I feel like it was creepier when there was less distinction between the creature and its flesh and what was supposed to be like clothing, instead of looking like wearing the big platforms, the big wedge heels. It just sort of looked like they had deformed feet in that shape. Same thing for like the laces and fasteners and stuff. It just sort of looks like stuck on to the flesh rather than being all part of it, you know? Not that these designs are bad. Like, this enemy, like, they all the enemy redesigns in this game still look great. That booty, that shiny booty with that reflective texture. Dirty ass legs. The part coming out from here on the thighs is all like bruised and rotted. Yeah, even if I prefer some aspects of the older designs over this, still a great enemy design. Hiya. Get an action shot. There you go. There's a thumbnail. Stance. Nice. We can see the like blood splatter effect frozen as well.
Kiri no naka de mita yatsu ka. Nande are ningen janai.
Ningen janai. Hearing James speak fluent Japanese is throwing me off. Don't worry, you'll get used to it. I like the Japanese dub for this game. I mean, I like the English as well, but there's no particular reason that we're doing Japanese dub either. I just forgot to switch the voices. And last time I played this game on PC was when I was recording the playthrough to compare the Japanese dialogue and English dialogue for all the cutscenes. So if you want to see that video, it's up on my YouTube from a couple months ago or last month, whatever. I'm going to get some good texture rips of all the graffiti here and mod it into Jet Set Radio. Insomnia. More repeated graffiti designs and stuff that we've seen already. But still just enjoy checking them out. See if we notice anything different. That pillow sitting on the chair. Got the kitchen. Flipping outside. Nothing hiding in the drawers. Oh. Natural food, bang. Instant breakfast meat. We saw another can of this yesterday as well. Yeah, and it's got this like gross breakfast meat. I think I'll just stick to the roast beef. Oh, he's doing the hand thing. It's not quite as... Nah, it's not like hyperextended like it was when he picked up the key. Curious, because he has like a slightly different pose every time we pick up different items. Gonna have to check that on all of these. Look at this perfectly safe to use syringe. Oh man, even the fucking tip of the needle is actually like hollow. There's that little opening. Yeah, the needle itself is so fucking rusted and gross looking. I think kind of make out not really on the label. Something UNDO. Whoa. I love changing the perspective for this. Oh. Projects. Medical dictionary. Thing W something. Ramat, Ramatw. UIE something ends with an M. Yeah, it's like the texture isn't properly fitted to that. Oh, the same thing is on the other book next to it. Yeah, same texture. It's kind of cut off at the same spot too. Medical ethics and etiquette. Several medical books. Radiology. Which is interesting. There are medical books. Oh, there's also something like drawn on the back of the bookshelf. Oh, it's a continuation of the graffiti? Something else. But yeah, in the original Silent Hill 2, there is a medical book in the Lakeview Hotel that you can find. And James comments on it. How he's like, yeah, I read medical books like this. They didn't help. In reference to, you know, Mary's condition. Kind of expressed his disappointment. Prodom. Nothing in the boxes. Oh, we've got Hyperspray sitting over here. I know this shows up in the Woodside Apartments, but I didn't realize it was also here earlier. You can see it's green, so it's the strongest level of Hyperspray as well. One of the New Game Plus unlockable weapons in the original Silent Hill 2 that is not in the remake. Extremely flammable. Extremely inflammable. They mean the same thing. Pretty typical first aid. Lead free. Gotta make sure your paint is lead free. Yeah, this one says Hyperspray as well. Another can of it. Kind of like stretched. Parse 2? supposed to be part 2. Everything else is a little too stretched to make out. I think that is... yeah, the ethics and etiquette book. Same book there. All right. Oh, look at the shutter above him, like blowing open in the wind. Normally you don't see that. The camera angle's pulled out a little bit further than it is by default. Now you can see all the shutters blowing up against the house. James do not have a second floor rendered. Cool to see, though. Green jacket. Not quite a James jacket. Bit different. Maybe more of like a zip-up shirt. Natural mineral. So it's supposed to be like mineral water. Oh, there's bugs. There's little baby creepers in there. That's cool. Hang on, are those actually animated? Are those moving? They are. Roaches crawling around on everything. Lemon soda. Yeah, I don't know if I caught that detail on my previous playthroughs either. Bible verse. Matthew 11:28. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. That's that verse. Can you go through buildings? Absolutely. We can go over them. We can go through them. Most of the time when you go through them, they just look like this. They don't render anything inside of them. But sometimes they do hide some Easter eggs and stuff in there. We already looked at an Easter egg yesterday's stream. It was hidden inside the Silent Hill Ranch. Though, still worth checking. But yeah, most of them are just going to be empty or completely unrendered. Oh, it's like a leaf texture clipping through the roof. I was like, what the fuck is that? Shiny stuff inside the car. It's funny. I can remember when the before the game even came out, when there were just little gameplay clips that were being released. People were speculating that like James's reflection is Pyramid Head in this car. Like fans were already speculating, but if you see how it is in the actual gameplay, you can see it's just the way that it like stretches out the reflection depending on how you have your camera angled. Bunch of rusted cans. No light bulbs, no light bulbs. Light bulbs. Got a glimpse of the past here. This is where you, in the original Silent Hill 2, this blood stain on the ground, and this fence area, this static camera view is almost identical to the original Silent Hill 2, where you pick up the Woodside apartment key. But because they change how you get into the apartments, they added the glimpse of the past interactable here for the remake. How do I get the chainsaw? New Game Plus. You beat the game and then start a New Game Plus playthrough and pick it up from the lumber mill as you're walking into the town at the very beginning. Summer jobs. Work hard. Ages 14 to 17. Tasks at something from something. Call for more info. Have I watched the GTA 6 trailer? Nah. Nah. I didn't even play GTA 5. 4 was the last one I played. Used to be super into the GTA, like, 3, Vice City, San Andreas, when I was younger. I just don't really get into those games as much anymore. 4 was great. 4 got a lot of shit from a bunch of fans, but I still liked it. Have you at least played Red Dead Redemption? Undead Nightmares. I have played that, and I have played Red Dead and Red Dead 2. Didn't know there was a part 1 to the camera hack playthrough? Yep, just from last night. The VOD's up on YouTube and here on Twitch if you want to check it out. At any point when you want to catch up. Oh. Oh, interesting. The license plate's not on this van. On the outside. But it's inside the van here. It's the same Ephesians one that we found on the white van on the observation deck. But for some reason it's not there. It's like inside the van on this one. Wonder if the front plate is also like stuck inside somewhere. What's the craziest thing you found so far? Today, there were VHS tapes in the house we just left that are titled Crusher Dan and Shoot, which is a reference to Silent Hill 1. The Silent Hill 1 movie theater had posters for movies, and those are two of the movies that were showing, Crusher Dan and Shoot. Very obscure reference, and I was surprised to see that Bloober snuck in a little subtle reference on VHS tapes that you can't even look at without the cam hack. Yesterday, I showed my favorite Easter egg, one that I already knew about, but it's still cool to see, which is when you're going past Silent Hill Ranch, you can find the HD collection version of the Silent Hill Ranch sign, which was written in Comic Sans, on top of a giant pile of trash, which is where the HD collection belongs. Great little tongue-in-cheek Easter egg from the developers. Little jab at the HD collection. Definitely one of the cooler things that is hidden out of bounds. Take a close look at the James corpse. The mutilated James corpse. Did a really good job with it, although you can even see like the hair texture and stuff. It matches James. Even with all the cinnamon goop all over him. Yeah, same boots. Same outfit, same James. Just like in the original, you start finding James corpses everywhere. And somebody had brought up like what the theory is behind those. Not just a theory, it's something that has been confirmed by developers what their intention was for the original game. Everything that is being encountered, like everything that James is seeing as he goes through Silent Hill, is being projected from his own mind. So James himself is suicidal. One of the reasons he came to Silent Hill in the first place was to take his own life after not being able to deal with the guilt of killing his wife Mary. And he has a mental break. He snaps when he gets to the town, and the town sort of gives him a false reality, a delusion, a very strong delusion that he believes instead of what he was actually there for. So that subconscious desire for suicide and fear of death is being projected as these corpses. But a lot of fans, they want it to mean other things. They want it to be confirmation of the loop theory. If they like believing in loop theory, then sure. They want it to be, I think someone mentioned, like Eddie's killing, what he views as bullies, which could be the case for the corpses that we see later on in the labyrinth when we actually fight Eddie, but is not likely to be the case with these. So, but hey, there's a lot of stuff like that in these games where if it's more fun for you to believe a fan theory headcanon and you find that more enjoyable, then go for it. If the town's a projection, how do you explain the existence of Laura? Not everything is a projection. Reality is here. He is physically here. Angela is real and physically here. So is Eddie. So is Laura. That's all been confirmed by the developers. It's not just imaginary. Think of it as reality around him being painted by his subconscious. Things are not actually this deteriorated, but he's thinking of Mary and her illness and how it deteriorated her body. So that projects onto reality around him. It doesn't completely take him out of reality. It doesn't make everything he's seeing just a hallucination. There are still real places, real people, real aspects to what he's experiencing. But it's all, the way he's perceiving reality is not accurate to another person's perspective. Any outside perspective would not see the same things that James and us as the player are seeing. Got the lying figure busting out of the fence here. It's gonna crawl away. Cool shot. That's going to kind of be how this playthrough is mostly split up. A lot of free cam to examine things and try to look for details and analyze stuff. And then also just getting cool shots because this game doesn't have photo mode. So I'm kind of using this as an opportunity to get some neat perspectives and viewpoints and screenshots of things too. If you're reading this, leave. This place is not what it seems. Sometimes you just have to look behind. Run away. kind of combining a few of the notes that you find in the original Silent Hill 2 into just this one. Hiding in the garage. Hiding up on the roof. Nothing rendered back that side. These yards and things we've already been through. Just over on this side of it now. Isn't the real town still somewhat deteriorated, though, like the burned-out hotel? Do we know for sure what the true state of Silent Hill is? Was it the devs' intent to keep it ambiguous? Devs intended to keep it ambiguous. So there's certain things, certain details that the developers have confirmed, like the Lakeview Hotel being burned down. Multiple developers have stated, like, that is, in reality, the state of that hotel. It is burned down, or burned out, heavily damaged. And what's interesting is you start thinking about that in terms of like, okay, well, James in his delusion still sees the hotel the way he remembers it from when he was here with Mary when she was healthy, when they were here on vacation. Laura, who was confirmed by the developers to also be real, is also running around that same hotel and doesn't seem to be reacting to it as though it's all burned. So even for somebody like Laura, who is not seeing monsters, because the developers have said that Laura doesn't see the monsters and things like that, that the town is just empty, she's still experiencing part of the delusion, either from herself or from being in proximity to James, because she's still running around like the hotel the way he sees it too. So there's things like that that kind of leave you questioning certain aspects of the story, that's left ambiguous. There's also just the way things are referred to in different games and different sort of points in an overall timeline, because there is no set concrete timeline for the Silent Hill series. It wasn't made that way. It wasn't written to be a series of connecting points. It was originally just a standalone game when they made Silent Hill 1. That game did well, so they made a sequel. Silent Hill 2 was meant to be kind of an anthology game that doesn't connect to 1 in any way. It's its own separate thing. That game did well, but a lot of fans didn't like that it wasn't a continuation of the story of 1, so they made Silent Hill 3, which was a continuation of the story of Silent Hill 1. And if you look at it in those sort of terms, of like, well, let's assume that Silent Hill 2 happens before Silent Hill 3, right? Well, the technology in Brookhaven, you go to Brookhaven in 2, you go to Brookhaven in 3. When you go in 2, in the original, most of the doctor's offices have typewriters in them. Those are replaced with computers in Silent Hill 3. So is the town actually abandoned? Or is it still functioning and there are still people like upgrading the technology? All of that is left very, very open and ambiguous. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. A timeline of events doesn't really matter for what is mostly an anthology series of standalone stories. They reference each other. Like 1 and 3 are connected directly, and those two games have like a set timeline. There's 17 years between the events of Silent Hill 1 and Silent Hill 3. But what year Silent Hill 1 takes place, there's a lot of debate around that. And a lot of that will affect when 3 takes place and where everything else takes place. So it was not something that was ever intended to be stated directly by the developers. They wanted it to be left somewhat ambiguous. Nevertheless, that doesn't stop fans from trying to piece things together and connect dots from over the years to make timelines and things like that, but ultimately the games were just not made that way. They were not made as this overall overarching story from the very beginning. They made one game without any intention of making the next one. And if that game did well, then they start working on the next one. And sometimes they connect the same, sometimes they reference each other, but you didn't always have the same writer, you didn't always have the same developers working on each game. Even when it was the first 4 games and it was, Team Silent, the people who worked on each game still changed. So they just kind of did their own thing with each of them. It's fun to try to play connect the dots, but the games weren't designed to connect in that way. For the most part. This is another Bible verse. Lamentations 32:23. Or 3:22, and they are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. All the details in the dashboard. And the fact that these are all like different for each of the car models. Very little like reusage. A lot of these assets. Anything silly while we look at the map? No. Did I break zoom? I broke my ability to zoom in on the map. That's okay. We can manually zoom with the camera. With the camera mod. Accurate fabrication and welding. Custom fabrication, body modification. T's Italian Restaurant. We're hiring. Part-time work available. Where you can find All Stars pizza boxes. Some of the first ones in the game. That's the brand of pizza, All Stars Pizza, that Eddie is eating in the bowling alley in the original Silent Hill 2. Nothing else rendered inside the restaurant itself. Can't wait to get the handgun. Yeah, hit that pose, James. Here we go. It's a shot of James like that. James would do a similar thing in the original Silent Hill 2. He doesn't quite cross his leg so dramatically, but he would like put his hand on his hip and lean on the chainsaw as one of the idle animations in the original Silent Hill 2. So if you were ever wondering like why James does this when you're using the chainsaw in the remake, that's why. It's a little reference to the OG. And once I get the pistol, James can, you can just aim the pistol to get him to put the chainsaw away faster. Well, then I have to just kind of wait till he does it on his own. Let's see what they got in these jars. Okra? Ginger? Red peppers? Syrup? Hill Brewery? A little flat texture with a bunch of random things in there. Another coffee maker like we saw previously. Extension cable. Kind of cable. No light bulbs. No light bulbs in there. Gotta check all the jars for light bulbs. Okay. Man, lots of cool looking posters and stuff around here. Hot sauce. There's got to be one can of fresh light bulbs somewhere. I mean, with everything else that there has been little references to, I would be really surprised if there's not canned light bulbs somewhere hidden in this game. I feel like Bloober would have to acknowledge it, even if it's a weird little Easter egg that requires cam hacking. Beer. He sure is looking at that sauce. He is considering. While you were wasting your time pondering your orb, I was considering the sauce. Studying the blade. Good meal. Good deal. $2.99. Get you a beer. What I assume is sausages. Fried egg. Some slices of lemon. Whatever the fuck. I mean, for $2.99, sure. Not the worst breakfast I've ever had. Breakfast. Eggs, sausage, toast, croissant. Yeah, croissant. fresh. Also, an egg in a little egg holder. None of us barbaric Americans do this. That's how you can tell this was made by a Polish studio. Americans, we don't bother with the little egg holder. Delicios. Chicken dinners. Delicios cherry pie. Premium quality, only natural ingredients, homemade. Homemade cherry pie. Menu, American dishes, open at all hours. Oh, good. In case there was any doubt that the diner carries... Our diners also don't usually specify, like, American dishes. Like, that's assumed if you eat anywhere in America. It's not going to be anything but American dishes. But I've definitely been to some restaurants in Japan that tout having American food, American dishes. And it's sometimes still not quite right, not quite accurate to what we actually eat a lot of the times. Usually it's better, in a lot of cases, to be honest. Fast food, eat since 1986. The multiple mentions of an actual year that are given in the remake. One thing about the Silent Hill 2 remake, the majority of the Silent Hill games don't give any kind of like years, even in random little background props and stuff. Whereas this game, there's a lot of this. 99-cent hot dogs. Can't beat that. Best meat in the city. It's the best meat in the city. I'm delicious. Drink me. Ice cold. Alice in Wonderland reference? Which would be interesting because there's a diner in Silent Hill Shattered Memories that also has a Drink Me advertisement. And the diner itself is Alice in Wonderland themed. Which in itself is a reference to Silent Hill 1, where there is a puzzle featuring Alice in Wonderland characters on colored plates that you have to put in a certain order in Alchemilla Hospital. And the reason for that is everything in Silent Hill 1 is being projected into the other world by Alessa's subconscious. So all of her favorite fairy tales and storybooks are projecting themselves as like the puzzles and keys and things like that you encounter. Hamburgers, only $1. Delicious 100% beef. Where's my beef? What if I want some beef on there? Have a good day. Is not a request. This. Just a picture of Sky gondola. Ski lift. People aren't wearing skis, so I'm going with sky gondola. It looks like an album cover. The way, like, everything is there, it looks like a vinyl. I'm doing a quick search for Sky Gondola album cover. Because sometimes, even just like a general search for those kind of terms, will find a match for the source of some of these images. But not this time. I'll have to reverse image search it. Our mop there. Got our nutrition drink. Box of tissues. The ashtrays. I love the attention to detail with the ashtrays. They've got various degrees of burned up or crumpled cigarettes. Some of them, it's like smoked all the way down to the butt and like stamped out. Some of them, it's like mostly a whole cigarette. There's bottle caps mixed in. Oh, it's my new best friend. Look at that dog. New best friend. Your new best friend. In the end, only a four-legged friend can truly help you make sense of things. That is definitely a reference to the dog ending. Review the best stores for doggy accessories. Find the perfect doghouse for your furry friend. Silent Hill 1 Levin Street Doghouse reference, maybe? Meet the cutest, cuddliest good boys around. What a good boy. Oh, and you can actually look at this one. Oh, yeah. So this actually is the note to sort of point players into the direction of, like, what to do for the dog ending. They want you to go look around the pet store where you find the first half of the key and your clues to getting the dog ending. Anything else neat hiding back here? Very low res texture. Old Polish whiskey. Detoxidine, we found a bottle of that in part 1 as well. It's a real product. Lemonade. Okay. Big J's note. That man was here again. I told him he'd been warned not to come here. He acted like he didn't know what I was talking about. Anyway, he got up and left. He didn't make any sort of fuss, but there's something about him that gives me the creeps. When I look at his face, it's like I'm staring at a mask, and there's something underneath, waiting to get out. I don't want to be there when that happens. A little bit of a nod towards James himself, who is, again, very much in a delusion. Do we have any idea who it is they're talking about in the notes? If it's James, it's definitely not one-to-one. No. So the notes and things that are talking about James being here would not make a whole lot of sense. Again, James has been to Silent Hill exactly one time, on vacation with his wife Mary, who promptly got ill, and then they left. They didn't stay here. Mary didn't go to Brookhaven Hospital. They went back home. And even Mary says, "You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did." That was the only time they'd ever been here. They didn't live here. They weren't here. Oh. James busted out the chainsaw and started screaming. Apparently there's a lying figure nearby. Yep, there he is. Twerking in the streets, double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon. So, I was talking about this earlier, Temporal Fry. Everything in Silent Hill 2 that we are seeing as a player and that James is seeing as a person, it's all, most of it is being projected. Like, reality is essentially being painted with a layer of James's subconscious with how he interacts with things. So the notes and things that we find, a lot of times they're probably not real. They're probably not talking specifically about James. They are something that's being manifested entirely from James's subconscious to refer to some aspect of himself, or Mary, or it's a note that exists, but it's being altered. So there is a note talking about someone, but the note itself is being altered to more closely resemble some aspect of James. Like James not being himself, not he putting on a mask to hide who he really is. He's in a delusion. He's hiding the fact that he killed his wife, that he's been dealing with the depression of her illness and all of that. And he's trying to sort of come off as a normal person, especially when he's interacting with other real people like Angela and Eddie, or Laura. So, no, the notes are not meant to be taken literally, in my opinion. They're not referring to James directly or referring to an event that happened specifically with James in the town. I think they are part of the delusion. Yeah. Your sexy pose. But they are part of the delusion, in my opinion. Part of the false reality that James is sort of seeing projected over the actual reality of what's going on. Another Ephesians Bible verse license plate. We already pulled that one up earlier. Outside of the restaurant, Big J's Diner. I like that they did expand on a lot of these locations. These are places that were in the original Silent Hill 2, but a lot of them you couldn't even enter or interact with in any way. So it's kind of neat that they added stuff to them just to kind of flesh out the town, give you a lot more to explore. Good world building. Got the pet center here. Let me get the first stuff for the dog ending. But take a look at some of these newspapers and things first. Silent News, August 22nd, 1990 something. Power of the People. Can't quite read that. Same Woodside Apartments being flooded. Building administration refuses to take responsibility. We saw that one before. Adana, thank you so much. Welcome back. Appreciate the resub. Hope you're doing well tonight. Office space for rent. Vandals strike again. So we're seeing a lot of the newspaper articles and pages and stuff that are being repeated. Hey, there's Jack's Inn. Little reference. Jack's Inn. There's a dog. A lot of hidden pictures of dogs and things like that around. References to the dog ending, I'm sure. World class something fete. Saint. Oh, is that the Jennifer Carroll statue? It's sort of smudged out, but I think that's the Jennifer Carroll statue in Rosewater Park, which, in Silent Hill 3, she is referred to in, you find the church, she's referred to as Saint Jennifer. Unwavering faith under death's blade, I think is the description on the picture of her. Hey, Gillespie House Fire. Silent Hill 1. Arson or accident. New evidence after years. So, major reference to Silent Hill 1. Name drop Gillespie. Which is also fun, because there is some debate among fans whether or not it was arson or accident. Some fans believe that Alessa is burned intentionally as part of the ritual. Some fans believe that the burns and the fire on the Gillespie house were done as an accident, that Alessa's psychic powers basically overwhelmed her and she caused a boiler to explode, which set fire to the house. Some fans believe that the newspaper clipping in Silent Hill 1 that you find about the boiler explosion is like the cover-up of what actually happened, believing that the fire was intentional. So that's fun. Little reference to the Gillespie house fire, whether or not it was intentional or accidental. New evidence after years. Very cool. So not even just a reference to major events in Silent Hill 1, but also a reference to the sort of community discourse, fan discourse around that plot point. That's the stuff that I'm always very impressed with Bloober Team. Like, it's one thing to have mentions and references of things that are directly in the games, the original games themselves. It's another thing when they reference things that have come from the fandom instead, things that are not official. So that's really cool. Special care for your pet. Yeah, sweet dog. All the dog posters and everything stuck around the pet center. Closed on Wednesdays and Sundays. Only open from 9 to 2. Except for Friday and Saturday. Lost dog, reward $300. Call +7. Also another thing. Most of the time in the US, if you're gonna have a phone number, there's not gonna be the plus at the start of it, the like international number. You're just gonna have your area code, the number itself. And back then, if you were to assume that this game takes place in the some random point in the 70s, 80s, or 90s, based on various sources of information, you wouldn't even have the area code. You would just have a 7-digit phone number for that time period. Adopt me. Little orange cat. Adopt a friend. Chicken meal for your dog. Give a gift to your friend. Who wants that chicken meal? Will not be denied. Dog food. Chew toys. Little hams. With tuna. Cat food. Is there a Minmo? Is there a hidden Minmo? I would lose my mind if one of these random things had like a hidden Minmo on a label or a package or something somewhere. Elite adult formula dog food. Adult cat food. Nutrition facts for the cat food. It's almost readable. If only we could light up the interior. Yeah. No way of cheating in the flashlight early, is there? There probably is with other mods and stuff. And I think there are some free cam mods, other than the one that I have installed, where you can adjust the lighting. Give me just a second. Let me double check here all the commands that I have with this mod. Okay, so activate free cam. I can move, I can look around, move vertically, tilt camera, reset tilt, reset rotation, speed up, slow down, teleport to current flycam location, hide game UI during flycam, toggle pausing the game world. I can hide James. I can speed up time, I can slow down time, I can reset time to default. Disable character models. Disable inputs to the free cam. Um, disable fog. Simplify lighting. Oh, for reflections. Global illumination method. Dynamic global illumination method. Simplify lighting. Did that do anything? That fuck up my lighting out here? No, I don't think that did anything. Actually, James's model might be brighter now. Like the shadows on James are not as dark. Model kind of stands out in the shadows a little bit more. This back to default. No, that didn't do anything. Time has an effect, or does it just affect animation speed? It's just your animation speed. Like if you want to see a particular animation in slow motion or speed through something, just to skip through it and get through the part you're on faster. But yeah, nothing that seems to work for lighting. Liv, thank you so much for the 15 months. Welcome back. Thank you, thank you. Setting off another alert. Bones, hams, pigs. Various colored balls. And that is the Brookhaven teddy bear, where you get the bent needle. Kind of neat. Okay, no Minmos. No hidden Minmos. Be in the back room here. That same adopt a friend thing. Boxes. Here's the first half of the dog key. James does anything weird holding this. I love his pose. Ooh, I like everything paused, but the lighting effects are all woobly. All wiggly. We caught it near Cats, so that's your indication to check around Cat Street for the other half of the dog key. Should have never brought it here. I don't know what to do. I know it's there, sitting and staring. Can't let it out, can't walk away, won't let me go. Don't look at it. Don't look it in the eyes. So they're referring to Mira, the dog from the dog ending, who they made do like this creepy stare down thing in the remake, which is kind of what they're referring to here. And then, yeah, the note about Cats Street. Ironically, Cats Street, where you get the dog ending key. That's cool. Get out of here. I'm exploring. Looking at things. Actually, before I break this, you can see there is the channeling stone in its wonderful detail. I just realized they added little Silent Hill 3 like Halo of the Sun symbols kind of around the sides of it too for the design. That's our blue gem, the channeling stone for the UFO ending. Oop, that is not the correct FOV. James doing any kind of goofy poses. Just checking out my channeling stone. It's gonna get us the UFO ending. Oh. Hit the A pose, looking at the ammo. Just like Silent Hill 2 original, all the ammo is like different kinds of birds. So the handgun ammo, the shotgun ammo, the rifle ammo, they all have different like birds on the packaging. This one is penguin. The handgun. Again, I love the detail on all these props. The like ridges in the cardboard for the side of the box and everything. How it's like partially bent and like the flaps open. And the wear and tear on it. 10 cartridges, 9mm. Silent Hill, New England. See, this is one of those things that's kind of interesting. So there's a lot to talk about actually here. A couple things. So 1899, first of all, is like the founding thing. So that goes back to Toluca Prison and a lot of historical Silent Hill events for this police force. The Silent Hill Police Department. They're non-specific about the state, even though we've already seen newspapers and things that say Maine, and for all intents and purposes, Silent Hill is in Maine. But when they started dropping hints as to like where Silent Hill is in the original games, this was like the most specific they ever got. That there were books and things you could find, assets that would say New England. So they kind of do the same thing like that. And the police department emblem itself has the Halo of the Sun little cult symbols as part of it. See? They're like incorporated into the design. Little parts of the Halo of the Sun. And then the statue is Jennifer Carroll. Once again. Saint Jennifer. So, fun little details in the design for the police emblem. Also kind of gives the implication, the idea that the cult is like the police and everything like that. They're all involved with the cult itself in some way. We have a 6-digit phone number, which is not a thing. All-terrain tires. Anything hiding out on the inside? That is a weird texture. The floor and the roof. Rain matter. Baby's closet. Nobody puts baby in the closet. Well, especially when the store is not rendered. Yeah, let's check out stuff on the roof. Anything up on the roof of the jewelers? Is there hidden UFOs? Is Mira the dog watching from the rooftops? No? Peeking out a window? Making sure. Looking at everything. Impressive. RHO something? Rhode Island? I don't think these places are mentioned on the map. Nah. Romeo with an H? It would be a little bit longer. It's like RHO. I think that's an M. Or it looks like there's something. It does look like RHOME. Then there's like room for one more character there, and then an O. Creepers. Our first encounters with creepers. Little like rolling can, but take a closer look at them. Basically the same as the roaches that we saw in that trash can in the dumpster right after picking up the radio. Just bigger. But yeah. We're using the same model and everything. Basically just big roaches. And of course it bites me. How dare you? Get little bits and pieces of it left. Same trash assets and things that we've already looked at. Fire extinguishers. Dress form mannequin. Neighborhood Cafe. Silent Hill, Neely Streets. Locked out phone number. Help needed, part full time. Lots of help wanted, help needed signs, which if you assume the town is basically becoming abandoned, potentially in reality, which is how it's described in Silent Hill 1, that like all the young people moved away, basically only the cultists stayed behind, and the few remaining people who weren't involved with the cult were getting like freaked out. That's according to like how Lisa Garland describes it to Harry. Silent Hill 1. So if you would assume people are leaving the town, even if it's not like abandoned the way that James is perceiving it, the way we see it as the player, there would still be a lack of people. So a lot of places are hiring. As hard as the job market is right now, I'm sure plenty of people would relocate to Silent Hill if it meant, you know, solid employment. The door that wakes in darkness, opening into nightmares. Clip on through. And nothing back here is rendered until you actually come here at night after Brookhaven. Nothing really hiding around this one. Oh. Baby and Kids Superstore. One of the few license plates that is not a Bible verse reference. Nice rims. Ephesians license plate. We've read that one. I love groovy music. Definitely got some lying figures to deal with in there. A lot of album covers we can zoom in and look at. So I thought. Like how these ones that are sort of outside are especially faded. This one's pretty readable. DSTFS Side 1. This is the Sun. 7 years until Sunday. Power Gray. Orion Box. Stardust. 7 years again. Marble Beast. Andrew W. Like Andrew WK? Is it time to party? Seven years reprise. Coelophonics? Celophonics? Our mission statement. (1989) M. Rook Records, Chicago, Illinois. Hello Monday. Oh, it's a woman like climbing up onto the back of a boat. Like a handle there and like a cushion. And like a swimsuit. Wasn't sure what I was looking at first. Another copy of Hello Monday. Back there. Perry and Records. Hearthlands Atlanta. That's the second Georgia reference. There's a license plate for Georgia on one of the junk cars that we looked at in part 1 yesterday. Equal Grace, Ted Williams. I think this one is just called Radio. You can see like the edge of a Walkman with like headphones plugged in. Probably the same things inside that we can see a little more clearly. Okay, put the chainsaw away, James. Put it in your pocket. No, don't hit the fucking pose. Just put the chainsaw in your pocket, please. It's so much nicer once you get the pistol and you can just aim for a split second and he puts it away. There we go. Lands Atlanta, presented to Ted Williams to commemorate the sale of 500,000 copies. Perry and Records single Hearthlands Atlanta. Coffin Lord. Hell yeah. Coffin Lord, the Sonic Ripper. Outlaw Star. Great anime. Afraid of Whispers. Dream Tomorrow. Wind of Fire. Budapest. And Call Me. Hell yeah, Coffin Lord. Goldstein Records, Alcahor, Orion's Box, Rockefeller Plaza, Baltimore, Maryland. Vision of Goldstein Inc. Stereo, Side 1, The Trifocal, Brianville, Another Keloid, Ryan's Box, Unearthly Chains. All titles written by Jane Linton, produced by F. Albert and J. Fat Albert? I'm assuming these are not real things. Alcohol is not a thing. It's W. Andrew W. Just checking. At our VCR, very similar to the VCR that we find in the hotel near the end of the game. Love the details, the like dirt and dust and everything on the top, the handprints and smudges. JDF remote control unit. Which for some reason has days of the week. Guess if you're like programming when to record things, yeah. TV operation. Video storage unit. Lens, Atlanta. Got our headphones. They even have the right and left side of the headphones marked. Mic here. Yeah, I was waiting for G to say exactly what kind of microphone this is. The Shure SM58, the classic. Quicksands. 85 antenna. Amp or a radio? It's a radio. Going on with that radio. AM FM radio. Berland. Coffin Lord. Same few albums. Beat this one's different. What kind of weird long car is that? Like a squashed and stretched image. Here's record player. .33 and 45s. And record, same thing. Something EX. That image feels vaguely familiar to me. Not sure why. Heartlands Atlanta, that same thing. Quicksands, Orion's box. Oh. I will do big things. That the follow-up album to Big Bear's Doin' Things? There's somebody's butt. That is a photo of somebody's butt. Got these posters. These we can actually interact with. They're little, again, things that are being projected by James's subconscious, hinting at James blocking out the truth and getting free from his delusion. So face the music, find the melody of your dreams, and kick up your heels. So face the music is like take accountability for the things you have done. Face your punishment. Coffin Lord, don't quit. Potential. Oh, there's that image of the cars and stuff, not so stretched. '70s hippie buses, Volkswagen buses. Did have the oh, it's just like a peace symbol. Oh, and they got like the mouth drawn on the front of it. Curious if it actually had a Volkswagen emblem on it, but it does not. Fake. Interesting silhouette. Addiction. So again, I feel like some of these are intentional. Things to reference James and aspects of James. That's cool. Even inside these little cabinets and stuff, actually more albums stacked around. Yeah, there's the full cover. That one with the Walkman, the headphones. I will do big things. Big Bear doing things. Philip Harper, Mound, Vista, Turner Records. $1994. Oh, did it? Keep forgetting to look at those dates. Oh, yeah. Copyright 1994. So we've seen stuff as late as 94. Or, excuse me, as late as 99. In terms of, like, years being mentioned or printed on things. Then we have 80s Dance. Locket. Be a better one where I can see what the full thing is. Afraid to be great. For mock-ups, I gotta say, these are like really great. They are really awesome. Don't be afraid to be great. You're doing a great job. I love all these like mock-up album covers. Like they feel like they could be real things. Don't let alcohol shatter your life. Again, another reference to James. James was an alcoholic. That's even in the original Silent Hill 2. You can find some dialogue when you examine alcohol bottles in Heaven's Night, where James talks about drinking quite a bit to deal with the pain and loneliness after Mary's illness. It's something that they allude to in the remake as well, a bit more directly. That is that Madonna? The city. All of the ones in the placards are like the same. Oh, this was the Sky Gondola one. So that is an album cover that we saw in the diner sitting on the table. Big J's Diner. Yesterday. Tomorrow. Today. Copy of Quicksands. Oh, this was the one out front that I couldn't tell what it was. It's just like leaves. Scraps of paper. And arch. Schools have been something, a series of art talks. Authorities should, just like bits of newspaper. Surprised how legible some of this is. A lot of stuff that we look at, the text is like too smudged and blurred on the texture to really make it out. Some of these you can read like pretty clearly. Go ahead and grab our half of a record the long way. And the glue. Gotta check. How is James? Yep. That's usually the pose that I hit when I'm looking at broken record fragments. And super glue. Instant super glue, extremely strong. Short-term correctable, ideal on materials. Ceramic, leather, wood, plastic. Notice how that does not list vinyl. You can't fix records like that. You can't. Does not work. For the sake of the game, it works. Grab this. Music can bring you back to those wonderful moments you thought lost. Again, referencing stuff to James directly. This is something projected from his mind to be relevant to him. Because this whole puzzle, finding the record fragments and the glue and everything, it's all about repairing this record, repairing the jukebox, and hearing a song that brings back one of James's memories of him and Mary in Rosewater Park. Gotta love this computer. Eggy. With a floppy drive still intact. Both sizes. Little heater. Do you remember those computers vividly? Same. I had one not too different from that. I can remember installing games where you have like 12 floppy disks that you have to install one by one. Just want to play Seventh Guest. Just want to play Wolfenstein. $1985. Tenna. Cool. That's everything here. Janitor came in the other day, drunk and in tears. Had half a record with him. Kept yelling, "We gotta fix it somehow." I was willing to do it just to shut him up, so I got up to get the glue from the cabinet. But then he realized he only had the one half, so he ran out. Can't do much about the record. Maybe ask around at Neely's next time you're there. Might be one of theirs. So we were talking about the notes a little bit earlier, because there's one that you find in the diner where someone was saying, like, are these notes supposed to be about James? I don't think the notes are meant to be taken literally. I think they are part of the manifestation, part of James's delusion. He's finding notes that might physically be there, but the way he is reading them and interpreting them, the same way that we as the player interpret them as James does, it's relevant to something that James is doing. It's giving you hints about finding the record, going to Bar Neely's, like repairing it, and it's hints at what you as a player are supposed to be doing. Some fans are like, oh, this is evidence that James lived here and worked as a janitor. I don't follow that line of reasoning. It doesn't make any sense. It completely contradicts core elements of the story that have been around since the original, such as James and Mary not living here. They were only here for a very short vacation that was promptly interrupted by Mary's illness. So, like, these sort of things, a lot of fans kind of take them at face value, but they don't make sense like that. They have to be part of the delusion. They have to be things that are there in a lore context. It's there just to have James projecting something that is relevant about him and what he's doing. And from a gameplay perspective, it's there to lead the player into what they're supposed to be doing. So I don't think they're meant to be taken at face value. But again, if you're the type of fan who wants to do that and you enjoy doing that, by all means, have fun. Don't let me ruin your good time. Don't let me shit on your headcanon. Just don't post it on the subreddit or the wiki as a fact, you know? At least be aware it is a headcanon. Evening wear, wash and dry, ironing service, duvets, curtains. Same day service. Got stuff in there. Nope, completely unrendered. Fashion boutique. I like how the sign is misspelled and then boutique is spelled correctly on the windows. What does that say? Sexless wetty for you? What the fuck does that say? (7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. Duvets, blouses, shirts, bras, jewelry. Creepy mannequins, dress forms, moth-eaten garments. Quiet Cocktails, also hiring. AM to 9 p.m. Anything up here? On all the rooftops. Check all the upstairs windows. Hey, Sasam. Stream is going well, although I do need to find a place to save and kind of wrap up for the night. I need to go make dinner. Air International. There's some cool stuff here. Toluca Lake. Enjoy almost 60 acres of a picturesque retreat. It's the perfect romantic getaway. Certainly was for James and Mary. And that is a photo of Derwentwater in Keswick, which was the photo reference used in the original Silent Hill 2 for Toluca Lake. Lakeside Amusement Park. Spend a magical evening with Robbie the Rabbit, Kathy the Kitty, Huey the Horse, and Don the Duck. Fun times await. Not only do we get a Lakeside reference and a Robbie reference, but this is one of the few things where they actually acknowledge the other mascots of Lakeside Amusement Park. They're mentioned in Silent Hill 3, and they're mentioned in Book of Memories, and that's like it. Everything else only references Robbie. They never reference Kathy and Huey and Dawn. So kudos to Bloober Team for finally acknowledging the other mascots. The lighthouse. Take in the view. Let it take your breath away. That is the Silent Hill 3 church. That is the Silent Hill 3 church where Heather confronts Claudia. Old Silent Hill. Venture off the beaten path and discover the hidden gems of Silent Hill, such as the beautifully preserved Balkan Church. Okay, so this is not the Balkan Church. The church in Silent Hill 3 where you confront Claudia is not the Balkan Church. It's a different church. The Balkan Church is the Silent Hill 1 church where Harry meets Dahlia Gillespie. They're very different churches. The church where Heather confronts Claudia is specifically an order church. It is full of cult imagery. The Balkan Church in Silent Hill 1, where Harry goes and meets Dahlia, is a Christian or Catholic church. It's got a crucifix and pictures of Jesus. You get Jesus pixel nipples in the Balkan Church in Silent Hill 1. So that's not the same church. A lighthouse photo from 4. I think that's supposed to be a reference to, again, Silent Hill 1's lighthouse. But there is a photo of the lighthouse in Silent Hill 4. Like, Henry has a photo of the lighthouse hanging in his room. And it's kind of similar to this one. I don't think it's like the exact same thing, but it is pretty similar. That's a good catch, Liv. All these wonderful vacation destinations. So the church wasn't a retcon, as in like the Silent Hill 3 church being the same church but retconned? No, not at all. The Silent Hill 3 church, remember, is like, you get to it after riding on a merry-go-round that is like spiraling downwards into the earth. That church is part of the other world. It's not like something that exists normally. It may have existed at one point, or it may exist in some other form, but the way the one you visit, the one you experience and interact with in 3 is like, it's essentially the start of the nowhere version of Silent Hill. Like Silent Hill 1, the end of the game where all the areas kind of mashed together is referred to as nowhere. The church in 3 is like Silent Hill 3's version of nowhere, the start of that, where you've got a bunch of different areas in reality mashing together in an unreal way. Millennial Echo, thank you for the raid. Very much appreciate it. We are kind of winding down towards the end of the stream, but we're still looking at some stuff before we get to that point. But thank you so much for the raid. Silent Hill News, Happy Burger. And by the way, I'm Nub Zombie for anybody who is new here. I'm a Silent Hill nerd. I've been streaming on Twitch for over 10 years. Specifically focusing on Silent Hill. We are doing a cam-hacked playthrough of Silent Hill 2 Remake. Very, very slowly and meticulously making our way through the game with a free cam mod, looking at all the little details in the environment, flipping out of bounds to look for Easter eggs and hidden things, because there are quite a few. Yeah, welcome. If you like Silent Hill and people who talk way too much about Silent Hill, you'll love it here. Actually like tables and stuff inside the Lucky Jade restaurant, even though you can never go in there. Now, let's see if it has collision, because I should be able to just pop James in here. Oop. Boink. Now, we're inside. Stuff has collision. Even for a place you're not supposed to be. Well, kind of. Some stuff has collision. Not this side of the building. The tables and stuff do. Wonder if they were originally going to do something more with that. And then just didn't finish it and closed it off. Alright. Let's go save at Neely's bar. Because, like I said, I need to go and make dinner. Somebody asked what was for dinner. So I'm having to be really, really careful about what I eat. Because I've been having a lot of health issues. High blood pressure, high cholesterol. A lot of stuff has not been great. So I've had to cut out a lot of junk food. And I'm trying to find good alternatives, things that I can make myself. Basically healthier versions of junk food that I like. And I really like the rice and chicken bowls from Taco Bell. The problem is they are absolutely packed with sodium, which I have to be especially careful about now. So I make my own version of those chicken and rice bowls. Just healthier versions. Yeah, it's basically just chicken and rice and shredded lettuce, tomato, some salsa, some black beans and corn. Come on, James. You can do it. I believe in you. Gonna taste so much better when you make it. Taco Bell. Yeah, I mean, I've already made them a few times. So, they're good. They're definitely better in terms of flavor and more filling, bigger portions, and just more healthy. Way cheaper per portion. Just better. But, alright. Make sure... Save again, just to be safe. Zoom in on this. There was a stream here. It's gone now. But I'll be back tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, and we will continue on with Silent Hill 2 Remake Cam Hack Part 3. But thanks everybody for coming by, hanging out, and just enjoying the game, enjoying the stream with me. Really, really appreciate it. Thanks for everybody who was subbing and resubbing. Thank you again, Millennial Echo, for the raid. And where's my music? There it is. But yeah, big thanks again to everybody who's been hanging out, enjoying the stream, everyone who's been supporting me. Cannot thank you all enough. Really, really appreciate it. Again, if you're new here and you're not already following the channel, this is pretty much all I do here. We do a lot of in-depth Silent Hill stuff. I'm also on YouTube. We do Silent Hill story playthroughs for every game in the series, speedruns for every game in the series, stuff like this with cam hacks and mods and things like that for a lot of the games. So yeah, if you're into informational Silent Hill videos narrated by this wonderful dulcet voice of mine, it's perfect for going to sleep and subconsciously learning things about horror games. So give me a follow if you enjoy it. Check me out on YouTube. Otherwise, I'll be back again tomorrow night. Till then, be good to each other. Much love and peace.